You know, every single time you shop online, there's this huge, invisible engine that just springs to life. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at what makes it all tick. E-commerce. We're going to follow that whole journey, right from the moment you click on your screen to a package showing up at your front door.
So think about it for a second. When was the last time you bought something online? Yesterday? Maybe even this morning? I'm guessing it was pretty recent. And that one simple act, that click, is exactly what we're diving into. It's the very heartbeat of a global system worth trillions of dollars.
All right, so let's start with the basics. When we use the term e-commerce, what are we really talking about? Because it's so much more than just a bit of online shopping. It's an entire digital marketplace.
At its absolute core, e-commerce is simply the exchange of goods and services using digital platforms. So instead of driving to a physical bookstore, you just order your textbook from Amazon. Instead of calling up a travel agent, you book that whole vacation yourself on Expedia. Those are perfect everyday examples of e-commerce in action.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Unlike a local store that's got specific opening and closing hours, the digital storefront never, ever sleeps. It gives us this incredible convenience, right? We can compare prices from dozens of different shops in just a matter of seconds. And it means a local artist can sell their handmade jewelry to someone on the other side of the planet, all from their own living room.
And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're dealing with, in 2023, global e-commerce sales topped $5 trillion with a T dollars. So yeah, this isn't just a convenient way to buy stuff. It's a monumental pillar of the modern global economy. And it's still growing.
But that slick, one-click checkout we all know and love, it didn't just appear out of thin air. No way. It's actually standing on the shoulders of decades of innovation. So let's do a quick trip back in time and see how this all got started.
The whole journey really kicked off back in the 1960s with a system that let businesses swap documents digitally. But the real game changer came in 1991 when the World Wide Web made the internet accessible to, well, everyone. Just 3 years after that, the very first secure online purchase happened. And guess what it was for? A CD. Then, by 1995, giants like Amazon and eBay hit the scene and everything changed. And of course, in the 2010s, smartphones put a store in literally everyone's pocket, and mobile commerce just exploded.
Okay, so we know what it is, and we know where it came from. But how does it actually, work? What's going on behind the scenes from the moment you click that buy button?
Well, the entire e-commerce ecosystem is basically held up by 4 foundational pillars. First up, you've got the hardware. We're talking about the actual physical servers that host the online store. Then, there's the software, all the apps and platforms that manage inventory and payments. Of course, none of that works without the networks, the internet that connects us all. And finally, the most important part, people. That's us, the customers, the sellers, the developers, and all the support teams that make it happen.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine the hardware is the actual building of the store. The software, that's all the shelves, the product displays, the checkout counters. The networks are the roads and sidewalks that bring people to the store. And the people? Well, that's everyone inside, the shoppers and the staff working there. If you take away even one of those pieces, the whole thing just falls apart. Okay, so you might be thinking e-commerce is just about stores selling things to you, but it's actually a bit more nuanced than that. There are several different ways these transactions can happen. Let's break down the 4 main flavors. So, the one we're all super familiar with is B2C, or business to consumer. That's you buying a new phone from Apple's website. But get this, the biggest chunk of the market is actually B2B, or business to business. Think about a car company ordering thousands and thousands of tires online from a supplier. Then there's C2C, consumer to consumer, which is what powers sites like eBay, where you can sell your old bike to somebody else. And finally, you've got C2B, where a person sells their services to a company, like a freelance designer on a site like Upwork.
Now, e-commerce is always changing, always moving forward. It never stands still. So what's next? Where is all of this headed? Let's take a peek at the trends that are shaping the future of your digital shopping cart.
Well, for starters, m-commerce, mobile commerce, is completely dominant now. In some parts of the world, over half of all online sales are happening on a smartphone. We're also seeing this huge rise in social commerce, where you can buy something directly from an Instagram or TikTok post without ever leaving the app. And behind it all, AI and personalization are getting scarily good at predicting what you might want to buy next. And looking even further ahead, things like 5G, augmented reality, and VR are set to create these incredibly immersive shopping experiences. I mean, imagine trying on clothes virtually from your own bedroom.
So when you look at the big picture, the story of e-commerce is really about this constant push for more convenience and more intelligence. It's gone from a simple digital transaction to an AI that might just know your style better than you do. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As this whole system gets smarter and smarter, what will it predict you want next?